Good morning everybody and welcome back to part 3 of the Ninjago retrospect on the channel, where we will be covering the years 2018 to 2022. I held off a little bit to wait for the summer sets to be revealed, but we are back, and if you're confused as to what we're doing today, I would recommend, if you're interested, watching part 1 and 2, although they are very long videos. But basically I'm here to share my thoughts on every Ninjago set, because most of these, at least up until this point, I hadn't really looked at. And we've got a couple more years before I really start to get into a territory of Ninjago that I'm familiar with. But I'm showing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and so far it's not been a particularly positive ride. There's a lot of respect that I have for Ninjago and what it's achieved for the LEGO company, but luckily things are only on the rise, and we are getting better and better. And we will be starting off today with the Hunted Wave from 2018, and that starts off in the top left with the Dragon Hunter polybag. To be honest, it's not too bad, to be honest. Obviously the dragon looks awful, because I can't even tell it's a dragon. It looks more like a robot to me. But I can see what they were going for. It is a hunter of a dragon, and he is shooting at said dragon. It's definitely not like the dragons we had in Possession, which also did look a lot better. However, we won't let that stop us. Moving on, we had the next form of air jitsu, which was the Dragonflies, and I've put the Zane one up on the screen for a reason, because that's just the Ninjago movie suit. That's disappointing to me. Like, why did they not create something new for this wave? I know we just came out of the movie, so everyone was like, "Oh, we got to make it link," and that was a brave move, was to bring the show in line with like the canon and stuff. But I don't get why we had to copy the suits exactly. Children would still recognize them based off the colors. Either way, the set itself, this is the better air jitsu because it has a cool vinyl wing on it, and it's still air jitsu, which is a cool concept. However well it worked wasn't always the best. Moving on though, we had the Destiny's wing, which was a plane, I assume based off the Destiny's bounty, based on the name. You've got to remember, I know basically nothing about Ninjago. Lots of weapons on this one. I really like the propeller in the front, as well as like the idea of the wings with the gold accents. It's pretty cool. Again, I like that little side build as well with the really cool dual molded sword. And this was the year the Dragon Hilt was introduced, because I remember finding out about that Dragon Hilt and being very, very impressed. The wings look alright, but once again, it's an Ninjago plane. I'm done with Ninjago planes at this point. They're not interesting to me. But that brings us on to the Throne Room Showdown, which was a hunted set apparently, but I thought this was the villain from Temple of Resurrection, from Harumi, right? She's appeared multiple times. I do like the colour scheme somewhat here, like the idea of the prison being made up of these golden swords and the little bit of purple and red and such, but overall, I think I preferred the prison that we looked at last time. Next up though, we have some dragons, and this is where the Hunted Wave really starts to shine, at least in my opinion. We have Stormbringer, a set that didn't receive too much love if I remember at the time. This guy had interactions with the Boost app, which I thought was a really cool expansion on like the Mindstorms concept, where it was like, hang on a minute, let's add the ability to transform sets into other stuff, which is cool. He also looks really great. It's one of the better brick-built dragons we've got. He's got these nice blue spikes, but he's got this slick shape with the flicky tail feature and these wings with some lightning. It's a really, really solid colour scheme for the dragon. It looks great. The enemy design for this season, I may hate the ninja design, but these guys look somewhat cool. They're very, very like apocalypse, desert, futuristic kind of stuff. And I love this particular shoulder armor down on this one guy who has this mask over his head. They look very, very cool. And you've got this like desert anvil where they've got the dragon armor, I believe it's called. I know something. I know something. Which we see the next piece of in the next set, which is the Firstborn dragon. And this has got to be a top 5 dragon, right? He looks so cool. I love the red on his head, and just the eye prints. They work so much better than the molded heads. It's actually ridiculous. You've got the vinyl wings, you've got the spinny tail, and you've just got this really meaty, evil-looking dragon, but it looks great. Really, really does look great. And you've got this little helicopter here, which really does like showcase their theme for the bad guys this season, which just seems to be post-apocalyptic desert, which looks great. You've got all these bones and wooden sticking out the skis. You've got this olive green and dark tan, an exposed engine. You've got a turkey hanging underneath to attract Firstborn, I assume. And then you've got these blades and stuff. It looks really, really cool. And once again, you've got a display for the helmet and the shield of the dragon armor, which looks great. Glad to see the collectibles back. And you've also got this cool bad guy with like a little shield. He looks like the idiot bad guy, I assume, where he's got his horn eaten. What are their names? Let's find out about them. And let's find a little bit about the characters in this wave. What was their overall theming? Because I know we had the Iron Baron, I believe, in the Dieselnaut, which is coming up next. His name is Chewtoy, so I was right. He's literally the please eat me dragon while I act as the bait for the thing. It's early in the morning, excuse my confusion. The next set though is the Dieselnaut, which is a very out there set. It's very strange, I'll give it that. You've got the Iron Baron back here again. You've got these treads and big wheels. Again, very, very like fine color scheme. Like it really works for what it is. Like with this grey being the predominant, but olive green and orange. Orange is a very bright colour. I haven't seen that since Skybound, so this is looking very cool. You got that looks like a young Wu to me. Lots of things. This is very, very apocalyptic. I like this. This is a cool set. Probably one that I overlooked back in the day, because at this point I was definitely paying attention to every new release that came out. But no, it's a really solid set with some nice features. I'm impressed by that one. See what I mean? It just instantly, they got some really tight theming and they kept with it. Just like the next one, the Dragon Pit. The theming on this is just so tight. I really, really love it. You've got this base hewn into the rock, and it's got this lovely combination of dark tan and light tan. These huge, huge gates, which do look so futuristic, and you've got this guy sat in this dragon skull, which is so charming. They really, really nailed the theming of this wave. It just all feels so in-universe. It feels like it fits with each other. You've got Chewtoy back again. You've got this amazing little side tower with like a double missile launch to like wrap around the dragon's neck, and you've got these barricades all scratched and a prison cell. Oh wow. Just the theming on this is really, really incredible. And then you've got this Earth Dragon, which to me is significantly better than the one from 2011. But I suppose that's not surprising given that we've had, 7 years of development at this point. You get the full dragon armor suit. I like it when they include the full suit in the larger sets. That's really good. And I think this is one of the earlier like full enemy base style things like we would see later with Seabound, where you had the Temple of the Endless Sea, which is basically like the fish home city, but this is like that version for the hunters, which looks really, really cool. And then one that makes maybe less sense, the Oni Titan. I don't know how this fits in story wise, but this doesn't look like anything we've seen with the dragons at all. Were they split up for this season? Because you've got Harumi and you've got Garmadon and a giant stone warrior guy. Admittedly, I do love the design of this mech. The idea of having a tree come out the top of him gives me Stone Colossus Ultimate Destruction vibes, and I really, really love his what would be like a samurai like skirt piece. I don't know its official name, but you've got these treads that have been used to represent that. That's really, really clean. Also, I love his knees with the little hats on there. They look really, really cool. Hate the figure selection. It is just awful, truly awful. He's got I assume there's a stud launches out of his hands, and his face looks really, really cool as well. I love the hat. He does look very, very cool. I would like to see more of him as a mech design. This is really nice. He's got a second sword in his scabbard too. It's a really, really solid set. Yeah, I appreciate that. But that finishes up the hunted wave. A pretty small wave. I think the wave's got a bit smaller around this period because Hands of Time was quite short as well. When we looked at that, but no, it's a pretty impressive lineup. I just really like the aesthetic. I have no idea what's going on with the story, and also these were our first like proper dragons. But then again, that moves us into 2019, which was the first appearance of Legacy, which is something to be heralded because Legacy allowed us to redo some of the old sets that really, really needed it. But we start with some polybags. We have the Sam X polybag, which is a pretty good miniature interpretation of the Samurai X. I just wish I cared. The Ninja Workout, which is another one of these Ninja Workout polybags. We've had plenty of these across the years. This one looks quite cool. I really do like this like spinning like rod thing they have, because this showed up in quite a few Legacy sets where you could like spin them as you roll across the floor. To me, that is the perfect Ninjago spinner because it doesn't require any luck. You move it wherever you want and he spins. I also like the angling on those sword sets. That's pretty cool. And then we have the Fireflight polybag, which is just Kai on a dragon. It's not the best dragon by a long shot. It's alright, I guess, but nowhere near as good as some of the ones we've seen before in Possession. However, this wave of spinners was probably my favourite out of all of them, because I really like this idea they came up with, where you have your spinner, then you have this base that you can change out the different accessories on, and there were like 3 tiers. You had like a a basic one, you had an attack, and you had a defense. So here with Zane, you had these ice crystals, which look so cool, and if you attach those to the spinner, you're in like a defensive thing. It was a bit more like harder to hit, but you've then got these really long reach ones with these discs, which are the attack versions, and then you just got this basic one, or you could have none of them. But I thought the customability and the little bit of strategy they added, it was quite a nice touch, and I was quite fond of that. I thought it was kind of cool the way they integrated it, and it just worked really well to me. I don't know, maybe I was the only one that agreed with that, but I really like this way of the Spinjitzu, because I remember being impressed by it back in 2019. Then moving into actual legacy sets, we have the Samurai Mech up here, which looks alright. I mean, it's a legacy set, so it's supposed to be a remake. This one, I think, is downscaled, if I remember back to the nearly a month ago when we did the part 1. Or it'd be over a month at this point. It looks alright. It's a nice solid mech. I enjoy it when you can put the guy in the middle. So Samurai X looking good here. Return of the Skullkins with this new skull piece was fantastic. I love that skull piece. It's so good. So many uses for that skull piece. But outside of that, it looks alright. It's not my favourite, I don't think. But then again, when have the mech ever been my favourite? The Golden Dragon, this one feels like a downgrade. Now, I didn't like the original Golden Dragon because he just felt too blocky and it was just weird. But I don't love this one either. Like, I like the fact that it's a smaller scale, but it's literally eating a stud shooter, and I don't love it. You've got the Overlord here, who looks cool. Again, now he's had a nice update, and I really do appreciate the fact that it's smaller, and the detail is definitely better. He's an improvement over the original for sure, and I actually quite like the molded head on this guy, and I know I usually say I prefer brick-builded heads, but I like the head on this guy, so that's alright, that's cool. We then have the Kai's Blade Cycle on Zane's Snowmobile. Now, I don't remember the original version of this set, so was this an original one, or am I just being dumb? I mean, it has been a little bit since we watched it. Or like we went over those waves, but bike boring. I can't summon up the energy to care about this, unfortunately. I don't know, is it just me? Do we have too many bikes in Ninjago? I like the unique stuff. This is not unique. This is Kai's 407th vehicle that is either a motorcycle or a plane. And Zane's Snowmobile, while unique in concept, just doesn't do it for me. You've also got these street side builds, which I don't understand, although I do like the little dynamite crate thing. And of course, the snakes take the highlight as far as figures and stuff go. But I guess they're sets for different people. Jay's Stormfighter, this is an upgrade. This was a huge upgrade. I remember the original one of these. This is clean looking. Now, as much as I don't like the concept of it, and the fact that it exists, does any of the ninjas need a jet? No. I will accept its existence, and I will very clearly say this one looks so much better. That looks like a separation feature. Does this jet split in half? Let's find out. I feel like this jet splits in two, which would be awesome, and I'd actually quite like that as a feature, to be honest. So let's have a look. Let's see. Please split apart. Like, please do something cool. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, what? It doesn't split. Oh, that's boring. I don't... why would you do that? I don't understand the need to do these conversion jet features. It's like, the jet wings move backwards. That's just boring. The set does look nice, though. The Stormfighter does look kind of cool. I like the colour scheme, particularly with the blue and the black and the gold accents is nice. Definitely a huge improvement over the original. Just disappointing in that feature. Then we have potentially one of the best remakes is the Cole's Earth Driller. This one was clean. Like, the original was already good. They just refined it to a point. They used new pieces to maximize the detail. You even got like that unicorn tip at the very front of the drill. You got two great remade minifigures, two great stone armies. And then you get the cool guy that I don't remember the name of, the four-eyed stone general. He looks so cool in this big scale. I love the big figs when they're like this. He looks awesome. I really like him. This is the best legacy set we've seen so far. Big wheels at the back also look fantastic, and the feature as well, the spinning drill, awesome. They did a great job with this remake. It didn't really need a remake because it was already above its time for when it was released, and this one was clean looking, so I'm particularly impressed with that, and I love the stone army guy on the side. But then a more traditional favourite for most people would be the Monastery of Spinjitzu, and while I can't deny it does look pretty amazing, I don't find myself blown away by it. Like, I love all the little techniques and what they've done with the roofs and just how much better it looks than like the 2011 stuff. But it's not much to do. I don't know if it's just me. For such a big set, I would have expected like maybe some more training courses or something. Like sacrifice the the two side wings and give us a training course, or just add more pieces in general. I mean, you've got some bits. You've got like this banana like knife jump thing. You get the two little spin things where you can move them around like around the obstacle course. Just not my favorite like training thing. But as far as a monastery goes, it is very clean looking. Just not my favorite style overall. Still very impressive. We then have the Ultra Dragon, which is again a huge upgrade on the brick built head one. Because I used to quite like the brick built head one when I saw it back in the day, but this one's much better. You got the big tail that swings with the green accents. You've got the big seat in the middle. The wings look so much more proportioned, and you've got these actual sculpted heads that all look very unique. They've all got their eyes on the brick built. It's my favourite style of dragon head, just like Firstborn, really. They've all got these two stud shooters on the side, which honestly I don't mind. No Great Devourer this time, which is a tad disappointing. But the snakes look good, as usual. You've got the purple one back. And yeah, no, these just really well built dragon heads. Like there's nothing hugely exciting about it, but it's all right. It's good. We then have Monastery Training, which is a legacy set. This is more, I guess, what they intended to expand upon the Spinjitzu Temple with. You've got like your Samurai X armor here. You've got this little training dummy and a little sandbag thing to punch as well. Some cool stuff here. Nothing mind breaking. You've then got the Ninjago minifigure pack, which is the first of our Secrets of the Spinjitzu sets for the summer, where you got one of the Ice Warriors and then one of the Pyro Vipers, and then Kai and a Clutch Powers. The thing I have with these minifigure packs is that it looks like they were trying to go for massable, but then just stopped when they added Clutch Powers. Brilliant idea to bring Clutch Powers back. I would have loved him to have his own thing, but so cool to see him here. It's great to see Clutch back with his little eye patch, just like in general. He's part of the LEGO history. He's great. We've got that bronze colour here, which I do love as a colour. I feel like that bronze should be used more. And the enemy design for Secrets of Spinjitzu was just on point. I love the Ice Samurais and I love the Pyroraptors as well. Raptors, Vipers. But that brings us into the theme in well and truly now, and that brings us up with Lloyd's Journey, which is a really nice small £10 set. You've got this little light on a pole with like the fire. I just like that build. And we finally got some more unique outfits for the ninjas again. Not sure if that's really ice and winter weary for Lloyd, but you know, it works. You've got the really cool the wolf here that looks great. I don't remember her name. You've got this little outpost, which again, I really like the style of these buildings this way, where you've got this wood and stone aesthetic, but you've got this brilliant dark red accent on both the characters and the roofs. But you've also got these really bright blue spikes that you wouldn't think would work, but they do. And you've got the sword that's embedded in the ice, and then this samurai is fantastic. You've got these ice shards coming out of his torso, looks great, and it's all dual molded with these this trans blue coming through. They look fantastic. They remind me of the Soldiers of the Dead from Lord of the Rings, but they're good. They're really good. We then have Cole's dirt bike, which is like the fire version of the set. And actually, I'm going to give this vehicle a pass. Again, what is it with Cole getting the best vehicles? I actually quite like this one. I think the colour scheme of the dark grey with the orange accents works for me. I don't know why. And to be honest, I really quite like the idea of having the tread at the front. It actually feels like a unique vehicle that isn't just like a literal quad or a car like they give to Lloyd. Also, Pyroraptor also looks really cool. Cole's new outfit looks great as well. So just another good bike. A set that I don't like though, the Shuricopter, again with the helicopters. I have nothing else to say. I just don't like it at all. It doesn't need to exist. I do like the use of cleavers on the front. That's a cool bit of detailing. And having the 6 stud shooters and the like the spinning ice blades is all right. And I like the fact that you get all the banners in the sets, as well as that weapon on the samurai looks clean. He must be a general because he's in dark grey instead of in the red like the other guys, but he looks great looking. All the enemies just fantastic. This is a much better set though, the Firefang. I remember this one because it has like a rattle feature in its tail, where it's you can actually like make a noise like a rattlesnake, which is so cool. I love all of like the lava accents, and you've got this sand blue going up the torso with these like almost Egyptian looking letters. He looks wonderful, exactly like how I'd imagine like a new modern Pharaoh's Quest would look. You get Asphira in this set, who looks great with that piece in gold, and you're using the Flama base piece, which is obviously used in Possession first. You've got Kai in this set as well, and this little throne on the top, which, yeah, I see where you got your inspiration from, Lego. You can't hide it from me. I recognise that chair. But anyway, she can sit up there. That looks great. I love the vinyl pieces as well, and I really do love that feature. There's a lot to love about the Firefang. It's unique. It fits this style. It works really well. I have more mixed feelings on the Katana 4x4. I mean, if it's unique, that's what I wanted, but I don't like it. More from a design perspective this time though, right? Like, what is going on with that dome in the center? I don't know. I don't love the way that looks. The front grille with the Uruk-hai blades is alright, and the spinny thing in the middle is a cool idea as like a play feature to like murder anyone that comes in front of your car. So that's alright, and I think that can be extended by the looks of things, which is a pretty cool idea. But I really don't like how much of a monster truck this looks like. It's just hideous to me. You get some alright snakes in this set. You get the General. I don't know his name, but that looks alright, and you've got Nia in her Tornado as well. Pretty good. Oh, Lloyd's Titan Wreck. I remember this one. This is one of my favourite mechs of all time, I think. I've watched the speed build for this one an unhealthy amount of times. There are just some really nice techniques in it, some really clean part usages, and then just some angles. And then, well, this gorgeous white, sand green and gold colour scheme looks fantastic. You've got a great selection of ice minifigures in Lloyd, and you've got a little plane on your back, which I don't mind used under the right circumstances. And this one's wacky enough that I really don't care that much. I also love the fact that he does look like a big samurai. It is just kind of cool, and I kind of like it for that. He's got a big blade on his arm, but I love those legs, I think, the most. Just the sand green is just spectacular. We then also have the Land Bounty, which is the Destiny Bounty's return. And to be honest, it's probably my favourite version of the Destiny's Bounty that we've ever gotten. You get great minifigure selection because you get both Asphira and the General, who are two highlights from the theme. You get this really cool, like, I don't even know how to describe it, isn't it? It's like big boat on wheel, but it's got a great interior and a great colour scheme with this like dark grey in the centre, but it's got all of these layers of brown and red around the outside, and you get this cool cockpit that's built upside down. They've got an arcade cabinet on there. It does feel like a mobile base, and I really like the shaping. It's very, very unique, and it works for me. I don't know why it works for me, but it does. It works for me, and it's technically interesting. It's fascinating to look at. There's so much to see. I actually really like the way this one looks. So credit to the Land Bounty, which is not something you probably expected to hear. Then we have the big one, which is the Castle of the Forsaken Emperor, which is the ice big set this time. So you get your Emperor in here, who looks great. You get this awesome Wyvern, who looks amazing. I love his toes. That is a weird sentence. And you get all these icicles and this tail. He's a nice mid-scale dragon that doesn't steal the show of the set while still being an important part of the set. You then, just like Hunted, you've got this amazing side ballista tower, which looks absolutely fantastic. Again, we're talking about maintaining an aesthetic here. It looks perfect. It is a fortress that has been surrounded in snow, and I love the way that the roofs convey that through the use of stickers. It is incredible. You've got all these outposts and then these big ice pillars that come into the centre. And you've got this blade thing that comes towards you, and you can drag the throne forward. The fact that the whole thing has like this shape change function is great. And you've got a little prison cell as well off the side. The theming is incredible. They did a great job with this wave. I mean, I even want to give credit to Spinjitzu Slam Lloyd in particular. I really love the challenge element that they implemented here. And got a bit more creative, where you have to knock down the pillars. It reminds me of like a Chima set, almost like with like one of these challenges. But anyway, the goal here, I assume, is you press down, Lloyd goes flying, and you've got to try and get the blade, but not the spiders. I just really like the way the pillars are built. They just look so cool. I love the little spiders sat in the dishes, and you've got these ice drippy bits. I kind of want that. Like, it looks so cool. I really, really like the way that looks. That's, yeah, one of the better spinner sets. I like this pushdown mechanism. I've used it in a couple of my customs. I think it's quite cool. The way that you don't have to actually spin it, it does it for you just by launching it. It was definitely the right move. Then one of the last sets here, down in the bottom corner, we have the Oni Battle Pack, which they just look cool. I don't even know who they are. I just think they're cool minifigures, and they look nice. So I think that does it for that set. I think they are cool. Thank you for listening to my talk. This is what you're all here for, the best of content. Moving into 2020, though, we have the Legacy Combo Charger, which, to be honest, props for them for making a 2-in-1, or does it expand? No, it's a 2-in-1. Okay, so I got my hopes up there, which was a mistake. You can rearrange it, which is always cool. Nice to see polybags with alternate options to mess around with. It's really, really nice to see. And yeah, you just got some nice details here with like the hoses and the things. It's an alright, it's not an Ninjago polybag as far as I'm concerned. It's a city car, but regardless. We then have the Merchant Avatar J polybag, which has a load of that new cool weapons pack in the trans neon green. You've also got this coolish J minifigure and a nice cart build. It's a pretty good polybag. I definitely think that's more Ninjago than some of the ones we've had a look at. We then have the Legacy Thunder Raider. which was a set that existed that I didn't like before. And my favourite part is the green hot dog. The Jungle Raider. Lloyd gets a 4x4 Dune buggy thing. No thank you. Moving on. 4 plus Dragon. Finally, something I can talk about. It really does. It reminds me of the 2011 Fire Dragon because it uses like a similar molded head. I believe it uses the Golden Dragon one from like last year or whatever we were looking at it. But it's a junior set, so of course it's going to be dumpy. I believe it actually uses like a plain body. But for 4 plus, right, you get a small temple, which is easy to build with a golden weapon. You get Garmadon and Kai, and you get this stupid looking dragon. But he really does. He's closer to the 2011 dragons than he is to the modern dragons, and I kind of love it for that because he definitely looks like a legacy dragon. That is not what they were going for at all. We then have the golden mech, the other legacy set from early 2020, which is so upsized, I believe, right? Like, this thing was huge before? Or is it huger before and now it's smaller? It shows you how memorable the set was and how little we needed a remake. He does look cool though. I'll give it that. They did a good job with the remake. Not my style of mech, as we've discussed with the Oni Titan. But we then move into the gaming stuff. The what was this called? Prime Empire, which is the first wave of Ninjago I paid full attention to. And the next one is my favourite, Master of Mountain. So 2020 was my favourite Ninjago year by a long shot. There's a lot to love about this style. Firstly, ninja suits look cool. I really like them. I love the video game controllers and the Keyblade things that they're collecting. For the Cole's 4 Plus car works for a 4 Plus car. I like the little print on the front with like the ninja stickers. It made it just fit this this video game thing. And I think this guy was called like Reggie or something. He's like a rat maybe. I don't know. Anyway, he's got a cool hoverboard. He's got a weird design and it's definitely quirky and unique. Fits the aesthetic. Sets up a unique aesthetic that was built upon in the Kai's mech jet. Although I don't want to quite look at that one yet. I want to focus on the gamer market because they changed the order on me, which was like a Ninjago people pack, which you guys know I love my people packs, but this one just sold the aesthetic, didn't it? You've got your mystery block, which has the key in it, which is just such a Mario Kart thing. I love it. You've got this like temple style built with all like the techie like outlines on this big 6x6 tile with the V on it for whoever his name was. You've then got the item market, which is such a video game thing, isn't it? You've got the classic space helmet, Seraphine Pickery's hat, and the pink Zane, which I know was a figure people were after for a long time. And then you've got this like weapon store as well, which looks so futuristic. It just really sells the aesthetic, at least to me, of it being in a video game. And the other one to talk about with this set is you've got all of these player health bars, which look fantastic. I love that piece. That piece is great. I can't wait to use those in mocks one day. But that's just so cool. The fact they added like the health bars is so unique. I really love that. And then this is our first appearance of the 404 troopers, which is just funny. I like the idea of them being like 404 troopers because 404 error, like page cannot be found. I find that funny. That's cool to me. But back to Kai's mech jet. We have this guy on a hoverboard who looks cool. I think I like the pink one more than I like the green one. You've got another one of the item blocks as well as these big like neon green blades on the mech jet. I like the fact this was a 2-in-1. I wish it was a transformer instead of a rebuild, but Lego be Lego. The suit again looks great on Kai, and once again those health bars. Also, did I mention the video game controllers already? They do look pretty cool. We then have the Jay and Lloyd Velociraptors, which is our classic bike and plane in a box set. But to be honest, I should give it more credit. I often complain about Star Wars not including conflict in a box, so it's great to see here, even if they're on the same side. And actually, I do like the colour combo here with the blue and aqua, and then the green and spring yellowish green. They work well together. They fit each other. They feel syngenic, and they look good together. So I'm pleased with this combo more so than others. I think it's just visually appealing. But that brings us to the Ninja Tuner car. I hate it. I know. The blade feature at the back is boring. What does that achieve? It has no purpose. The character selection is alright, I guess. I like the 404s. I don't know about the other guy. He's just existing. He just looks like Jack from Hidden Side in the wrong place. You got the purple windscreen and the purple key mystery cube thing. Big grey block. Don't like it. Moving on to the dragons. And again, dragons continue to be cool. Jay's Cyber Dragon, incredibly underrated. I love his toes. They're those Technic elements. What is it with me and dragon toes? You've got the big blades up on the windows. You've got the nice face, which is brick built, and these like trans neon green highlights all the way down. He looks like a cybernetic dragon, which is exactly what they were going for, and it works brilliantly. You get Unagami in this set, who is a great figure, and you get both of the hoverboard riding idiots and Nia as well. They all look great. It's a fantastic dragon that doesn't get enough credit. We have the Empire Dragon, though, as well, which is my personal favourite out of the two dragons. He looks like a techie dragon that has all like the lines on him, mostly thanks to the stickers, but he has this awesome black and teal colour scheme, which is unique. I love his little hairs around his nostrils, not something we've seen since the Wu Dragon. Unagami looking great. Lloyd and Kai looking good as well. You get one of the mystery block things as well. And just great. And this was cheap as well. This was like £30, so this was a good deal. I love some of the part usages and just the orange that comes out of his arms. His arms are so cool with like this non-winged, but he still looks like a dragon. They really, really pulled off a nice design with him. But then, topping off the wave, we have the Empire Temple of Madness, which to me is an Exo-Knight set. It really does look like an Exo-Knight set. This is cool. I like the colour scheme here. I love the teal accents on the red with the trans orange. I like the fact that it's like a level, and it really does feel like a platformer. It's cool. I don't have much else to say. You've got like the Donkey Kong aspect, you've got the health bars, you've got everything you could want in a video game Ninjago set, and I give it credit for that. It is very, very impressive. We then move on to the gimmicks. We have the Avatar arcade pods, which is cool. I don't really understand them, but it was a cheap way to get parts from the thing, and the arcade cabinets themselves are rather cool, but they exist. They were good gimmicks, but not amazing. We then also have the Golden Zane is accessory set, and I guess if you actually like the Ninjoids, this would be a good set. But I don't like the Ninjoids, so I don't care. We then also have the Spinjitzu Burst, which is the Master of the Mountain gimmick, and in concept, I absolutely love this idea. The idea of spinning it, and as it spins, the perpetual motion flings out these these bursts in a sense, and it looks like it's opening like a flower, like a palindrome thing. But this didn't work in practice, which is unfortunate because, like I said, it's such a cool concept. No, but I do like the rock work underneath the little launcher, and it was a cool idea. It's just a shame it didn't work. We then have some more legacy stuff. We have the Stormfighter Battle, which is by far the worst of the 4+ sets. The build does look very, very square. Looks taking us right back to 2013 Juniors. Alright, minifigure selection, I guess. The jet looks awful. I take the other Stormfighter every day. And I don't know what the snake's driving at all. We've got the Kai Fighter, which is a jet that didn't need to be remade. And yeah, it looks better, but I still don't care. Well, I just don't know what it is. I just don't like it. I prefer the Monkey Kid jets, I think. Maybe. Also Ninjoids again. We then have Destiny's Bounty, which is very clean. I'll give it that. The techniques used here were fantastic. The reds and the browns, it looks really, really clean. Just all of the angles and effort they put into this is spectacular. If the original one was like this, I'd probably love the ship. This is definitely really, really good. I still prefer the Land Bounty, I think, but this one is nice. It is really, really well done. It was definitely a set that needed to happen. As far as Legacy goes, remaking the Destiny's Bounty, and was done incredibly well. 2020 was a very good year. It does look very spectacular. That dragon head on the front's incredible. And the building at the back, those are my favourite parts. Also for side detailing. See, I really do quite like this one, actually. We then move into Master of the Mountain, which is my favourite Ninjago sub-theme of all time. And we start with Journey to the Skull Dungeons. So this whole thing was a board game. Reminds me of Heroica, gives me huge Heroica vibes. Right, start with the ninja suits. They are cool. We love the silver, we love the gold, we love like the knight pauldron style. I love the dragon shields, they look awesome. And all of the weapons, Nia's spear looks great. Lloyd's little tassel on the end, fantastic. And Jay gets a mace, we love a good mace. We then have the die, which looks amazing. We love a good dice. And that appeared in all the sets. It looks incredible, and obviously it serves a function. We then got one of the Mert people, I think they're called. But they're orcs. They look so cool. We got like Lego orcs, they're amazing. They got this great shoulder piece, which I believe appeared in Hunted. Yeah, it definitely appeared in Hunted. And you've got like a little place to store a sword, but they don't wear swords. You've got an axe, he's got his hair coming out the top. He looks fantastic. I love all the character design in this theme alone. You've got this little like player icon, so you've got like the 3 hearts, which I adore. The fact that you can put it down. And can we just talk about how they went from video game to board game in the same year? It's such a clean idea. I love that. That was amazing. And you've got like a little weapon spot, and as well as a place to store them. But then actually onto the actual set. set. It's just a really solid adventure playset. It reminds me of something out of the Orc Forge from Lord of the Rings. I love the fact that they bothered to put the detail of the brown planks going beneath the platform to show that it's been built up, and all of the techniques they did on the rock work on the way up. Plus you've got the little cage, reminds me of Cannibal Escape, with like the bones pots where this guy must be living. But you've also got all of like the directional tiles where you jump along this big like tailing rock work that comes out. You've got this green fire, like soul fire, like from the Skull Sorcerer. But you've also got this amazing black sword, which just looks so chunky. We love a good sword like that. With the skull on the handle, it's a really impressive mould. But no, I just love the board game integration, and I believe there was a little bit of like stuff on the inside, like a bed or something. John and Skull Dungeon, fantastic set, especially for the £25 price range. It looks wonderful and takes me right back to some of my favourite sets of all time. You've then got Wu's Battle Dragon, otherwise known as Chompy the Dragon. Yeah, I actually watched this season of Ninjago. I was that curious about the board game that I watched the series, so I know that this is Chompy. He has some fantastic wings. For his scale, he does look very good. The head technically doesn't work, and I've complained about heads like this before, but because they've gone at this smaller scale and they put so much detail in everywhere else, I can't say that I blame them for this one. The legs look great with like the detachable knee joints, are fantastic. The vinyl wings, the little sword inclusion, as well as one of like the gecko or the gex people. I don't remember their exact gackle. Something like that. He's got a crossbow. He looks fantastic. Again, like straight out of Nexo Knights. He just looks great in this purple. Complements the blues. Wu looks awesome. He's been souped up here. Oh, I love Chompy. He's cute. He looks good. Zane's Minnow Creature. Big Rhino. I don't even know what it is. I don't care that it's strange. I just love it. It looks great. The black and the grey with the little blue accents and the golden horn, and also that new decorative piece that we'll see on a couple of other sets later on. Fantastic looking. Big Rhino somehow manages to fit Underground Lava board game. Just perfect. What a great choice. And here we see the golden armor as well for the first time. Again, the golden dragon shield. Cole's a big stick looks great. The dice is back. The tutors that go inside the rhino are here, and you've got this little extension to the board game as well, with this little like lava fire. Reminds me of like the Lava Trouble one we looked at in week 1 of this retrospect. But just a little platform for the rhino to knock off, because this guy had like the feature like the Ravager from the Minecraft sets, where you pull the head in it and it butts upwards, which was cool. And you get 2 more of the Geckle people here. I should just learn the names. It would be so much easier. We then have the Firestone mech, which again is one of my second favourite Ninjago mech. I mean, unless I'm forgetting one where it's literally just half Cole, half Kai, and it looks great. You would not think that they could pull this off, but it looks awesome. Again, with this like samurai style, and you've got this amazing headpiece with like the dragon on the front, and you've got this like lava center core. I do love this style, and you've got the rock work. Oh, it's a good set. It's a good set. Shame there's no board game expansion. That's probably the one issue with this one. It should have had a board game expansion. But you get more of the Mert people, or the Mert. Yeah, we'll just go with Mert. I'm probably wrong. Great figure selection again. Just fantastic. Not as good as the Oni mech to me, but still particularly nice. We then have the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. Another epic dragon, if I may say so myself. That is a clean skeleton dragon. Like, we have not seen one done before. I think this was our first, like, proper big skeleton dragon. He looks so good. I love the fact that they went with a brick-built head with all of, like, the bone detailing around it, and the fact that the ribcage can drop Skull Sorcerer magic, which has, like, skeletons in it, and bones, and you've got these amazing black, like, skullkins almost, like, which I know his army, the Skull Sorcerer, but he looks great as well with his evil green skull. You've got the ninja. Obviously, I prefer the board game sets, but this dragon was clean. You've got an expansion to the board game, which does work well. You've got an extra life on there. You've got one of the swords. You've got, like, this spin-around platform where you were supposed to, like, change direction. It spins. And you've got this statue, I believe that was of Cole's mother, which falls on you as well, which is cool. But that dragon, it's so good. It's such a good dragon. Really well done. And then finishing off the wave is the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. And then, what a set. I gave it its own page. Fantastic. We're going to go quick because I've been gushing for too long. It's a cool lava underground mountain cave with a giant skull sat into it. It is a base that is also a board game. It is minifigure scale, unlike Heroica, that has a singular control point that moves 4 action features. You have sword blades, you have a crane winch, you have fire doors, you have an up and downy bridge thing, you have an interior room, you have bars that like fling open. There's a playset and it's a board game. There are multiple routes around it. It connects to other sets in the wave. Another highlight of mine. With more of these player icons, more of these amazing ninja suits. The Skull Sorcerer, a Mert, a Gekkel, one of the Dark Soldiers, and then Vanya as well. Oh, and you've got all of these amazing building techniques with like the bones, and it makes it all, oh, it's such a clean aesthetic, and you have these beautiful slopes, and there's treasure on the inside, and you've got another cage. Oh, one cannot express how much I enjoy this set and how fantasy-like it is. I don't want Lego Castle to come back. I want more of this. This was just, it's Heroica, but done right. I love everything about this set. I really want it. That moves us in, though, to 2021. We're almost there, thank goodness. I really want to just speed up and get this done. We have Lloyd's quad bike. Do I have to say it at this point? Lloyd don't need bike. Not a quad bike, not a bike, not anything. Titanium mini mech. Looks alright for a mech, but not fast. We then have these epic battle sets. The Kai one looks alright. I like the Skulkin. I don't like Kai's outfit at all, but I do like this little orange leaf and this little tiny, like, Torigate with all of the accessories are alright, and you've got the little spinny things back, which I already said I liked. The Epic Zane versus Nindroid one, I like their outfits a bit more, but I don't like the Nindroids, and the build absolutely sucks. Which then moves us on to the J one, which is probably the best, with the little like bamboo things that you can flick, and this snake statue, which actually looks pretty cool. Jay's outfit, again, don't like Jay's outfit. The snake's alright, and you've got the spinner thing too. And then the best one, actually, I've really changed my mind, is the Epic Battle Cole versus Ghost Warrior, because shockingly, their outfits are both at least alright. The Possession Ghost coming back again, actually really nice to see. And you've got this cool market still with the green sausage and the egg, and it just looks like part of the Possession Village. So happy to see more of that theme. You know how much I love that. We then have the Legacy Tournament of Tournament of Elements with the Golden Lloyd, which is very nice. I know a lot of people wanted this set, so I won't hate on it too much. I'm glad you got your Masters of Elements and stuff and your Ninja. It looks really clean. The aesthetic between the tan, the black, and the red looks great. Jade weapons included, great. Just not for me. The Boulder Blaster, although I suppose I should give it more credit for existing in the first place, because I said when the Tournament Element Wave I wanted more tournament style thing. The reason I won't give it any more credit though is because it's just a remake of that one bad Tournaments of Elements set we had, rather than doing one of the unique challenges from the tournament, so take that as you will. We then also have the Boulder Blaster, which is a remake that they didn't need to do, and this one makes minor improvements and is just an excuse to re-release it. I don't see any benefits here. I do like that they gave you finally a target to shoot at with the Boulder Blaster, because obviously you got those stud shooters, so it's nice that you can open the prison, but beyond that, I don't care. I refuse to talk about the X1 Ninja Charger. We're moving on. The Overlord Dragon actually looks alright. Then they brought in this new molded headpiece again, which I was enjoying the brick built heads, but honestly, I still quite like this mold. It definitely feels more crocodilish. I like the wings. The new Overlord design is probably my favourite of the ones we've had. It was an alright dragon for a cheap price, I'll give it that. We then have Zane's Titan Mech Battle. I don't love this one. I know I should, because it's like everything that I liked about the other necks, but I like the colour scheme, that's for sure. I like the white and sand blue, but I think I don't like the shoulders. They just look funny to me. But Ghosts came back, so that's always a benefit. There just doesn't feel like much going on with that one. Which then moves us into Ninjago City Gardens. Obviously an incredible set. My least favourite of all of the Ninjago City sets. I love the Temple Island and I love the ground floor, but once we hit street level on this one, yeah, it looks cool, but I find myself just not interested. The reason I love the base is these angles on these buildings at these 45 degrees is incredible. And of course, you know I love that Exoforce reference in Ninjago City Gardens with Scoop. Fantastic. Obviously, all the buildings are great. It's colourful, it matches the others, and it works really, really incredibly well. But I just don't find myself getting as excited about that one as I did specifically about the docks. And I think the nostalgia for the original Ninjago City is so high at this point that I can't really go against that one either. I'm also going to give a pass to Lloyd's Jungle Chopper Bike because it actually looks somewhat cool and it's a unique vehicle. I mean, for Lloyd standard, we had cars and dirt bikes and then we get this, which I really love, like the sailing part attached to it. It really reminds me of like a windsurfer. I really like that sail design. I think it's really, really cool. He's got his little roll cage on it. It's just a cool bike. And I do want to talk about the jungle villagers from the Island sub-theme. They look cool. They remind me of the original Islanders and that Island Warrior from the Series 11 CMF. He's not my favourite one here. The other one is definitely better, but I do love his shield. That's a fantastic print that looks really, really clean. So that's really nice to see, and I do love the amulet as well. But then that moves us into the rest of the island, but before we get there, we've got Jay's Electromech, which is a set that is commonly hated on, and you can sort of see why. Great for 4+, horrible for everyone else. I have more of an issue with the Anacondrite tank, though. That just... What is that? Never mind. 4+ sets, be 4+ sets. My favourite one from the Island sub-theme, though, has to be the Jungle Dragon. He's just adorable. Look at his face with the little tongue sticking out. He's just like a puppy wanting to play. And he's our first teal dragon. He's got his little waggy tail with all these Nexonite shields on him. He's got a little sea. Zane's got this cool windsurfer. And the Island minifigures, you've got this two-headed guy. But then also a guy with a mask, which looks so cool. Oh, like reimagined Islanders stuff. So cool. I love it. I love it. I love Islanders. Love myself some King Kahuka. He looks fantastic. I love the fact you got little chains around his ankles, but he also just looks so crazy and happy. I love the dragon. He's my favourite dragon. Yeah, no, that settles it. Favourite dragon of all time is that dragon there, the the jungle dragon. That moves us on to the Keeper's Village, though, which was really cool. Just to see a mid-scale playset followed up from Master of the Mountain. This thing still looks like it fits. It still looks cool. You get the two best Islanders in this set because you get the King, the Chief, I should say, who, again, channels that King Kahuka vibes, but with this awesome headpiece, which actually looks Amazon with, like, the jade, or should I say, like, teal, like, representing, like, those crystals that they made their snakes out of. Looks fantastic. And you've got the guy with the mask who's just sat there with his little saucepan, which looks great. You got the lava filling out with this superhero piece, and you get the shield. This was the definitive island set because you get everything I'd ever want from an island set apart from that dragon. You got the little traps out the front, which I think is cool, and this little statue that like rocks backwards and forwards, and this big lava mouth, which I know is a prison as well. So there's actually a lot in this one. I really like this one. It's probably my favourite of the island, and again, just they were so strong for so long with 2020 and 2021. Love that Ninjago stuff. Then we have the Catamaran Sea Battle. Really cool in concept. The Keeper's one's great in execution. Don't love Kai's hoverboat, but I'll give it a pass just for how cool the idea is. We've never had catamarans before. I mean, we've had some swamp stuff, like some swamp speeders and things, but catamarans in Ninjago was pretty unique. Again, we get a good selection of minifigures with the Islanders. The teeth had a function, if I remember correctly, and you've got this huge sail. It just looks really nice. The teal and the brown are a good combo. I like them together. Then that moves us on. We're getting closer to the modern day, minute by minute, as my voice starts to give out. It's been a long time recording. Kai's Blade Cycle, another 4+ set. This is perhaps the most forgettable 4+ set from the whole of Ninjago. In fact, I genuinely didn't remember it existed. Final Flight of the Destiny's Bounty is something. I actually quite like the dragon here. I think because it just looks ridiculous. The other two builds, yeah, nah, they're not doing anything for me, but I quite like the dumb dragon. Moving on, Lloyd's Hydromech. This one got a lot of attention. I don't love it. My favourite part about this is the asymmetry, but also the little like skirt pieces around it, using that piece from Master of the Mountain that we talked about, representing like that more of like a samurai kind of thing. But it doesn't do anything for me. We've also got the new snakes, the sea snakes, the Pyro Rippers built on water, and that black and teal colour scheme is on fire. We love that. We also love the scuba suits. They look great, but mostly the sea snakes, they just look fantastic with that black and teal. They contrast so well, and they also just remind me of like the deep, like underground oceans, what's in the trench in a sense. We then have the Ninja Subspeeder. I want to hate it, but it looks really clean. The indecision. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like its existence, but they have convinced me that it needed to exist. It does look pretty clean. I'm not going to lie. It looks great. I hate the Fire Dragon, though. The Fire Dragon, everyone gave this one so much credit for a legacy remake of like the original Kai's Fire Dragon. I would take Firstborn every day over this. I don't like its torso at all. The molded head is great. Sure, the wings look all right, but his actual arms that are attached to the wings, his tail, both look disgusting. The legs are weird. And his chest, why is he so like thick at the top? It doesn't make any sense. In comparison, the dragon that got no attention, the Water Dragon, is so amazing. We love the water dragon. Firstly, figures Calamar, 2 of the sea snakes, and Waternia, I think. You get this cool little display for the whooshy, the medal thing, and you've got the submarine as well. And you've got the tail feature on the dragon. It just looks really clean with the blue and grey. I really like it. I need to stop saying clean. The wings go up and down. You've got the little feature. And you've got these watery designs and the toes. And the belly is made up of that new piece from Master of the Mountain. And it just looks so good. They used the mouldy piece on the Overlord one on this one, I believe, in the Jungle Dragon. It works really well. I love the fact that it's got no pupils too. Like, it's actually like made of water. It's incredibly cool. I really like that dragon, and no one gave it any credit at all. They just said it was meh. But then we had Temple of End of the Sea, which did lose the Overlord dragon pieces on the dragon Wojira, maybe, I think. You get this cool Manta Ray, you get Waterneer, Benthamar, and Calamar again. I love this snake that's got like the weird like glowy bottom thing, but you also just like the normal snakes in general. And this is what I'm saying about this villain's playset. This does look great. The blue and the teal with the gold, again, great combos. I just wish there was more going on. Like, I know you've got like the Rip the Dragon free play feature, and you've got like your little shooting turret, but that shooting turret's been in almost every one of these big sets for the last like 4 waves. You've got this cool like clam thing, but then it just feels like we're missing an interior or something. It's literally just like a big balcony and then a display area for the medal thing again. The Sea Serpent is cool, just not as cool as the others. It's good, it's just not great, but the aesthetic and the principle was there, so I will applaud. We then have the Hydro Mountie. Again, yeah, just mention this whole wave, the whole Seabound stuff and the Island stuff and the Master Mountain and the Empire stuff before it. Hunted and the other one we took a look at today, they just all had really fine-tuned aesthetics, and I think that's what really stands out, is if we can give credit to nothing else, over the years Ninjago has worked out what it's doing. A big Hydro Bounty, did we need another one? I do like the windows made of pearl gold at the back using the rings, and I like the fact that you've got storage for the subs, although it's an incredible waste of space, and I do love the Woobots, because that's obviously a reference. Calamar, good inclusion, his little chariot's pretty cool. There's a lot of wasted space for one sub feature, and while I do like that feature, and the fact the engines can turn or something, yeah, I just don't care enough, I don't think, but it's alright. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then that moves us on to the remake of the Ultrasonic Raider. This is the Legacy version. This one's not as good as the last one we took a look at. The last one was better, in my opinion, and that is all that matters here. It's still a really cool concept for a vehicle. It's just not there for me. But moving on. 2022, we got the Evo line, and everyone seems to hate it, but I'm here to be controversial. Well, I'm here to tell you my opinions. Mini Thunder Raider. I like this polybag more than I like the Legacy Thunder Raider. That technique, putting treads around the 1x2 plate as well, is interesting to say the least. Lloyd's suit mech looks awful. I know I've given credit to mechs before. This one's not one of them. Lloyd's Ninja Mech, the green one, the bigger green one. Not my style of 4+ set at all. This one's worse than the J1, at least to me. I do like the Evo suits, though. I do think they look kind of cool, and I do like the new Earth Snakes. I don't even know what these guys are called, but the orange and the gunmetal grey does work quite nicely, and while I think we've got too many of them, I do quite like them. I think they look cool. We then have the Thunder Dragon Evo. I like this guy. He's cute to me. Look, his little like top of his head looks bold. Jay's Evo looks clean. The dragon does look a bit like a sausage in the middle. Like, I don't love the middle of this guy, but I do like the wings on the legs. I love the idea of like customizing, like you add extra stuff to him, like in different building stages. Interesting way of building it. It's curious. But his head, I like his head. His head is super cute to me. But then that moves us on to everyone's favourite Evo set, which is the Zane Power Up Mech Evo. It's a mech. It works. I understand why they've done it. It looks alright. Zane's Evo suit again looks the best part. I love the shuriken on his arm, and again all of like the little detachable bits. It is a very clean mech. I just think I'm saturated on mechs at this point. We then got Kai's Fire Dragon Evo, which arguably looks worse than the Lightning one to me. I don't like his bottom jaw. It makes him look like an old man, and I'm not a fan of that. His wings are alright, but once again, he looked like a sausage, and his legs were weak as well this time. The not Pyro Rippers, the Earth Snakes, as I've decided to call them, look cool. I like his little jetpack. I don't like that drone build, though, at all. And Kai's Evo suit does look great. Lloyd got another car. Oh, hang on, is that a go-kart? I like the go-kart and the fact that that one snake is so much shorter than everybody else. But apart from that, no car for Lloyd. Ninja Ultra Combo Mech. It's not doing anything for me. Not a fan of the Evo wave. Um, I know it can split up and it does cool things when it splits up, but I think I'd still prefer the Ultra Stealth Raider. This is just like a mess. It's messy and I don't like it, and it's not cool. Um, it doesn't even have the neat shoulder knees that the other one has. In a minute, but anyway, Lloyd's Legendary. Hey, the short one's in a better set. We get that short snake. Why does he look so like upset with life when he's short? I love him. He's great. I love the little ballista as well. That's cool. You've got Nia here as well. The best thing about Lloyd's dragon is its belly. I really love this like giant protruding like belly of this dragon, like it's like inhaling to breathe out fire. I just think that's a really cool technique and something we haven't seen on dragons. Like we've obviously had like buff dragons like Kai's remake from the Legacy one, but I just really like the shaping here. It just feels very like a new species of dragon. I do quite like it. I think that's rather cool. I'm definitely quite intrigued by that. We then have the Ninja Dojo Temple, which has a really clean aesthetic with the brown and the black and the dark green. We've also got a Rubbish Mech, which is just Zane's one, but red. I do quite like this temple. This temple is very unique. I love its playability. I love its presence. I also love the idea that you've got this little entrance down on the ground floor as well as these balconies. It's a very cute play set. Not sure that's what they intended it to be. Their little drill thing's pretty weird. This is actually really nice. The interior is a bit lacking, but I like what we've got here. You've got like a little explosion feature. I just think this is more of like in a botanical gardens temple. This is not a ninja temple to me. This is a walk around a flower garden and look at the pretty structure that they built in a facade. Because that balcony is just, I just love that off to the side. It's so gorgeous with this little entrance down on the ground level. I do love this like autumnal aesthetic. I do like this more than the Legendary Temple. Not for the reasons they want me to love it, but I do love it all the same. We then have Jay and Nia's Race Car Evo. It's a cooler colour scheme than Lloyd's, I'll give it that. The helicopter is something, to be sure. Oh, the Hunter did it better. We then have Lloyd's Spinjitzu Ninja Training, and I picked this one, not because I like the Spinjitzu, because they went back to the chords, and I don't like the chords, but because of these bomb builds. They're just cool. I love these little urns that have like fires coming out the top. They just look really cool to me. I quite like that. And moving on to talk about the training set from this year in the 2022 style. I mean, a minute ago, we talked about how I loved the green roofs and the white and the black and the brown and how they all link together in this autumnal tree. Well, I've got my perfect autumnal tree. This is one of my favourite Lego trees they've ever done, or at least a subtle Lego tree. You can't really beat the tree house. But I love the way that this slide is actually designed to be like the tree branch curling up around, and you've got all the roots clinging out the rock, and oh, it's just really well designed, and I love the way it's come together. I also, as normal, love all the play features. These are great. Another form of spinner. As I said, I don't love the ripcords, but at least they sort of work. You've got all the training exercises. The punch bag's always cool, but my favourite part about this set, besides the minifigures, is of course this little wooden snake dummy thing. It's just wonderful. It's just so charming. It's so colourful. I love its whole thing and its essence. I actually really want that as an item. I just think it looks cool. It's like a nice statue. I love that it's got like the wooden prints for eyes. I think it's really wonderful. Then we've also got this 4+ set down here, which is a 4+ set. Once again, the color schemes. I love the red black wood, but also this medium nougat flooring with the bright green trees. Just really works for some reason for me. I'll just kind of like it. As for the motorcycle, don't care, and the dragon's sort of cute, I'm not gonna lie. I do like how random the colour is. I'm not sure what Ninja Dragon it is. I mean, they're destroying the cannon with this wave, but besides that, I like what's going on here. The basicness of it is somewhat cool to me, and as I said, I like that medium nougat flooring. Then we move into the actual crystallized sets, which I know is a lot of people's like favourite Ninjago thing that's going on at the moment. And I am here to rain on the parade. I don't like most of these. It's very vehicle heavy, and I don't have a connection to the vehicles. Now, one thing I do like is these dragon suits. They look incredibly cool, and hence the J Dragon Bike is probably my favourite one here, although To be honest, Zangejet doesn't look bad. I kind of like its color scheme with like the blue and the gold and the white. That sort of works for me. And you get the Kai as a dragon. But anyway, back to the Jay's dragon cycle. Of course, I love the little robot thing off to the side and these like dog stone warrior things. I don't know. They've got all the glowy bits coming out of them are really, really cool. And obviously from a figure perspective, they're all glowy and they've got transparent stuff and they've got these cool new blades, which I'm sure will be useful in many, many other scenarios. And the head is just a really cool design with this gunmetal grey and trans purple. It is very cool. But besides that, you get a lot of them. You get a lot of them, and there's very little variation. As for the motorcycle, it's actually pretty clean. I'm going to give this one a pass. I also do quite like the new Golden Weapons accessory pack, particularly how they can slide into these crystal blades to show them like being succumbed to the bad side. I think those are really cool. And as I mentioned, I love the dragon suits. They're just so cool. And then you've got this nice golden bike. You've got the trans highlights coming through. It's a solid £20 set. I think it's probably one of the best ones. You've then got the Zane Jet, which it looks better than some of those other jets, and I really like the light blue coming through for the ice. I think works really well. I don't see the point in you need to dress. And then you've got these Vengestone versions of main bad guys. So we've got Skull Sorcerer back here, and a Sphera as well in the next one, which is the Coal Bike. A four-wheeler. I want to call it a tank, but it's clearly not. I don't see the play features here. It's just big car, and to be honest, it's not even a good-looking car. It's probably one of Cole's worst vehicles. We've had so much unique stuff, and then we just have this generic car with two blades coming out the back, and it's a tad disappointing. Kai probably looks the best out of the dragon suits. I mean, I love the orange one, and of course, Jay's looks good as well. But that red is so striking. I wonder if the orange one does look better in real life, though, because obviously this is render. You get the Vengestone Sphera, which is cool, but it's not doing it for me. All three of these are just mares. It's just the figures, and it's really just the dragon guys at that. We then move into two more that I actually did put on my list of the summer sets. The first one being the Vengestone Temple, which just looks so cool floating. I love the way they've designed it. There's a lot of subtle stuff here that kids won't pick up on, but I really, really appreciate. I love the little breaking staircase. It reminds me that this atmosphere might be like low gravity. You've got all these floating platforms, and I love the fact that we've recolored long Technic beams to make it look like the energy force that's holding it up. And they put the little root detailing on there, which is really, really cool. You've got all of these huge blade pieces, which are incredibly cool, and of course the Tensegrity prison, which maybe isn't as much as I was hoping as far as the Tensegrity goes, but it works. It's good enough for what it is. I like the way the throne is formed, and the Crystal King as a minifigure does look incredibly cool, although nothing compared to his mech, which is so insanely cool. It's so sad that the figure selection's so bad. I love the fact that it's got 4 legs. It just makes it so unique instantly. It's like some evil senator who's got like this golden rib cage, and it's just really well detailed. Watching the reviews and speed builds and things, it's really, really nice to see. It's a great looking model. Actually, they both are. The temple of the Crystal King really does give me back to like 2020 vibes. It just has that same structure. It really is golden as far as that best age of Ninjago that we looked at earlier in this video, my favourite age. It really is reminiscent of that, and both of these fit that quite well. And the Crystal King mech is just so insanely cool. It's just so menacing, and it's just got such a presence. I think it really does come down largely to the 4 legs, especially those front 2, and the fact that it is like a horse. It's so demonic. I really, really love it. Then we move into the worst 2 of the wave. We've got Cole's not Batman Scuttler, but also just red, but also just not enough red, and also just weird. You get a figure selection here. I have a new favourite dragon suit now. Zane's is definitely the best that we've seen so far. You've got Vengestone Mr. E with the shurikens on it. That looks alright. Or is he Mr. F? Did I hear someone say? I don't know. Mr. E was cool. He didn't need to be Vengestone. No. You've got Skylar back, I guess, as well. But I hate that vehicle with such a passion. I don't even know what's going on. I need to watch another review of it. But just because I don't understand, there's so much confusion. Angles and spinning. I'm assuming it transforms. But I don't know. I don't have the energy to work out what that is. And then what a lot of people seem to like, but I have no interest in, this Golden Dragon. I'm gonna say it, too much gold. There's genuinely too much gold on this thing for it to be considered coherent. My favourite part's the belly with all the feathering, but this thing is too big, it's fragile. The figure selection is good. You get all Ninja, the Crystal King, and Warriors, nice army builder, and the Oni Lloyd, but no clue what's going on there. As far as like four-headed dragons go, this is by far my least favourite because it just got the least personality. They're just all gold, and the molds are most similar. Like, at least with the original one back in 2012 they had unique colors, and then with the rebuild in 2019 they had unique brick built colors and the stud shooters and the printed bricks. This one, it's just some very, very slight printing on the heads and a couple of transparent parts, but I'm honestly really disappointed. There's just no color. It is just solid gold. I can barely work out what's legs and what arms, and for such an expensive price as well, there's just nothing drawing me to this dragon. One of the worst Ninjago dragons, at least in my opinion. Maybe not quite as bad as the buff fire dragon from Legacy in 2021. Then we have the Samurai X mech, which it looks cool. My favourite part is the kneecaps, because I love the reuse of the hydro copter shell like scuba thing, but recolored in solid black with gold. It looks really ornate, and it's a really, really nice piece usage. You've got some interesting figures here with the Oni Garmadon and this little stone mech, which gives me Nexo Knight vibes, which is really cool. You get Pythor back here and Jay, which does make me wonder. I think are we missing one of the dragon suits? Should Lloyd have had one, or maybe he doesn't need one? But you've got the mechanic here as well. As far as like Samurai X's actual mech goes, I do love the blue, and I like the red X in the middle, but as far as like the other like only like samurai style mechs, this one's probably one of my least favourites. Maybe it just looks a little less grounded to me with without the green and white colour scheme of like the only one from Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu. But there was a lot of nice techniques here and a lot of nice colours, but it just isn't doing it for me. But I will definitely give it credit because it's definitely really, really solid. Okay, and is there anything left from our wave? No, we are all done. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this third and final part of a Ninjago retrospect. The next theme we're going to be taking a look at is LEGO Adventurers, but I've got a ranking one I want to do first on another video game license that I think is curious and curiouser. But anyway, let me know what you thought of this Age of Ninjago down below in the comments. This is definitely my favourite. They really, really were hitting such a solid streak for about 2.5 years, and then while some of the Crystal King wave is good for me, there's too much vehicles, but there is a lot of cool designs. As far as the future of Ninjago goes, I really don't know. I know it's been confirmed, or like at least strongly assumed, that it is continuing in some form, but I definitely see this as at least a soft reboot, if not a full stop of the theme. I really think it might be coming towards an end, or at least a big change point, because no way can you expect kids to keep up with 10 years of lore. Nah, it ain't happening, because half the people don't even know who Pythor is. I probably wouldn't have worked it out unless I'd been around in the LEGO space for as long as I have at this point. Yeah, it's a theme. It's got its highs and lows. It's got its best. I love Master of the Mountain so much. It's just so unique. I do think I wish that Ninjago didn't steal as many theme ideas that could be potentially their own theme, like Monster Fighters to Possession. We could have had so many more ghost themes, which we then had with Hidden Side. Could we have had our own Heroica follow-up, our own like Dungeons & Dragons like sort of style, like Fantasy Cave Explorer or Zelda sets, instead of having Master of the Mountain? And would they've even been better without having to cater to the ninjas if we just had the Skull Sorcerer and a team of unique heroes? Do other themes die because Ninjago steals? But then again, Monkey Kid exists. So, I don't know. It's confusing. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you next time. This has been an incredibly long recording.